What's going on, everybody? Sigourney Jackson here with another episode of Hoop Politics. Appreciate y'all for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell to stay up to date on everything that is Hoop Politics. For anybody who's living under a rock, today is a very big day in basketball. It is the 2021 NBA Draft. This is the night where 60 basketball players will see some of their childhood dreams come to fruition, be able to change their lives forever, change their family's history, and begin the next chapter of their lives as NBA basketball players. Now, of course, there's always going to be the massive trades that are going on. There's going to be people get drafted that maybe you didn't expect. There's going to be some people who are going to drop. These are the normal situations that happen all the time when it comes to any draft of any sport. Now, normally the top lottery draft picks, the top 5 picks are always going to be locks. And for, this year, it's going to obviously be the Evan Mobleys, the Jalen Greens, the Jalen Suggs, easy picks. But what I'm here to talk about is, of course, the politics, and I'm going to give you guys 5 players who I know for a fact are going to be steals in the draft. People are sleeping on them. They are right now going a lot lower than what they should be, but I guarantee you they're going to make a splash in the NBA in the upcoming years, and a lot of people are going to come back to this video and they're going to say, yeah, Sigourney knew what he was talking about again. So without further ado, let's go and get right into it. 5 basketball players who are definitely slept on, who are going to be steals for this upcoming draft. Now, the first basketball player that we're going to talk about is one that is in the lottery, but definitely should be a whole lot higher, and that is Corey Kispert of Gonzaga. At 6'7", 225 pounds, playing the shooting guard and the small forward, he is a prototypical NBA basketball wing, where he averaged 18 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 1.8 assists. For Gonzaga this past year, was the Conference Player of the Year. Obviously, a lot of people may not hold that to a high standard because Gonzaga normally always runs through their conference, and I understand that completely. But this right here is the thing that a lot of people are not talking about. This past year, he shot 44% from the three-point line. That is incredible three-point shooting that can translate to any level of basketball. This guy right here is going to be looking at going somewhere maybe in the mid-teens, but he should be a top 10, maybe right outside of top 5 draft prospect this upcoming year. Yes, he may not be that great of a defensive player, but in the NBA, like I've said in past videos, the NBA doesn't truly play defense like you think. One-on-one basketball, pick and roll, it's almost impossible to guard anybody. But Corey has an NBA talent and he has NBA size. A lot of people love to talk about who's the next Duncan Robinson, who's the next Klay Thompson, Chris Middleton. Now, I'm not saying that Corey Kispert is going to be on that level. When I say that level, I mean Chris Middleton or Klay Thompson, but he easily could be a Duncan Robinson and possibly better because he has true size at the position to play small forward and shooting guard. He has the capabilities of playing off of the ball, which is something that is not necessarily held to a high regard like it should be in today's game of basketball. He runs off of screens well. He has high basketball IQ. He knows how to get his feet set early and knock down the open shot, as well as knock down shots with a hand in his face. He's a big body, and if he gives effort, he will also be able to give a little bit on the defensive end, and it probably surprise you a lot more than what you think. I think that he's a perfect pick for a team like Golden State with their 7th pick. That might sound crazy, but I would pick Corey Kispert for the Golden State Warriors at number 7. He provides shooting for them, which is something they desperately needed, even when they get Klay Thompson back, because Klay Thompson is at his best when he can play the shooting guard position and guard shooting guards opposed to guarding the small forwards. Corey Kispert at 6'7", he's around the same height as Klay Thompson, which gives them a bigger backcourt, which allows for Steph to play the point guard position and guard the point guard position, or play off and guard the shooting guard position and still have Corey and Klay to be able to kind of help out on that wing spot. And this is already with the mindset that Andrew Wiggins might be back next year, but he is going to be a big steal for a lot of basketball teams, and he's going to help a lot of teams out in the future. Mark my words. The next player that I know that a lot of people are talking about lately, but he still isn't getting the respect that he deserves, is Nashon Highland. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, but from VCU. At 6'3", 170 pounds, he has good size and length at the point guard position. He averaged 19 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists, and shot 44% from the field. and shot 37% from the three-point line. Now, a lot of people might think that 37% isn't necessarily that high, but this is the thing that a lot of people don't know. He was attempting 8 threes per game. Yes, I'll say that again, 8 threes per game. He was shooting at a high volume and he was still able to hit 37% of them. That means that he is knocking down anywhere between 3 to close to maybe 4 at times per game. If you can get a point guard who can hit 3 threes per game, and then he has one-on-one skills, he's probably one of the better one-on-one point guards in this draft this upcoming year, he is going to turn a lot of heads. He plays off the ball well, he plays on the ball well, he works the pick and roll well, he's got good change of speed, and he's just an overall scorer. When I look at him, I think of him in more of a CJ McCollum type of role. I think that he can play the 2 guard and play off the ball, but I think that he'll be at his best playing the point guard position. He is going to be a basketball player that for sure can start in the NBA. There's a lot of NBA teams that need point guards every single year. The Chicago Bulls could really use him a lot. The New Orleans Pelicans can use him, especially if they decide to get rid of Lonzo Ball this upcoming year. The Detroit Pistons can use him, and a number of other teams. Now, one of the things that I definitely also want to talk about with Nashon that I think is very, very important to say is that he shot 86% from the free throw line this past year. Now, of course, he's a point guard. He should shoot that high at the free throw line. But this is the thing that I really want to talk about. He shot 66.7% from the free throw line his freshman year. This right here shows that he is getting better. He works on his game. He is in the gym. Every single one of his stats that you saw between his freshman year to his sophomore year has gotten better. Now, of course, a lot of that could be due to the fact that he had the ball in his hands more, and when you have the ball in your hands, you're a lot more comfortable, you're a lot more confident. But some things you can't do better unless you are in the gym. Nashon shows that he is a hard worker. He knows how to get in the gym. He knows how to get better. And once again, one-on-one score, 3-level scorer, hitting crazy step back, side steps at the 3-point line, hitting mid-range shots and getting to the rim at the point guard position, 6'3". Watch out. He is going to be a steal. He is a Hoop Politics steal for sure. The next one we're going to talk about is Trey Mann of Florida University. At 6'5", 190 pounds, he has good size at the shooting guard position as well as at the point guard position, which he spent a lot of time at this year for the Gators. He averaged 16 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. Shooting almost 46% from the field and 40% from the 3-point line. These are good numbers. This right here, he has size, he has length, and he has handle, he has skill. He is a 3-level scorer. I am a big advocate for 3-level scoring. Bring 3-level scoring back to the NBA. Hell, bring it back to basketball, all right? Trey Mann is definitely going to be a steal in this upcoming NBA draft. He's going to come in and be a scorer. I think that he's going to be able to be a good backup point guard, maybe even a starting point guard, depending on what trash team picks him up. I know that sucks to say, but most likely he's going to end up somewhere in a trash organization, and he's going to probably get that opportunity to get better, to get on the floor, to have the ball in his hands, and to learn how to play the game at an NBA level. And that's only going to do great things for his confidence as well as for his game. I love how smooth he is. I love how he's able to break his man down off the dribble as well as be able to shoot over his defender playing that point guard position at 6'5". What is there not to like about this guy? The next player we're going to talk about is actually a surprise for me, and that is Josh Christopher of Arizona State. Josh Christopher was a top 10, top 15 basketball player in his class of 2020 this past year when he was in high school, and for some reason he has dropped off and dropped really hard, where he is almost looking at being somewhere in the second round of this upcoming draft, and I really can't understand why, because he's young at 6'4", 215 pounds. He is big body. He has a lot of D-Wade to his game, honestly. He's a 3-level scorer. He does really well in the mid-range. He plays the glass well. He defends. He rebounds. He shot 30% from the 3-point line, which of course could always be better, but I think that will with time because he has good mechanics on his jump shot. He has good lift. He has a high release. He doesn't overcompensate with his legs as much. And he's just an overall competitor. He's confident. He shot 80% from the free throw line while mixing it up with 14 points, 5 rebounds, and almost 2 assists per game. Josh, I think, actually could be a scorer in the NBA. Like I said, he has a lot of a D-Wade to his game, in my opinion. I can see him going to a lot of different teams and really helping out. I don't understand why he's fallen so much. I know that he fell and had a bad back injury, which kind of left him out for the rest of the college season, but this draft isn't necessarily just the most incredible draft ever. So for me and my thinking, I don't understand why he would fall as low as he did. But trust me, he is going to make a splash. He's going to be a steal for a lot of basketball teams this upcoming year for sure. And the final one that I want to talk about that a lot of people have not said, but I know for a fact could really be a steal in this upcoming NBA draft, is a player who is not even on any draft boards as of right now. And that is Isaiah Miller of the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. Isaiah Miller has good size at the point guard position, a little bit shorter than the point guards I named before at only 6 feet, but at 190 pounds, he has good size on him. He is strong, he's physical, he's a senior basketball player, and he just has experience of playing basketball at a high level. He averaged 19.2 points per game, 6.8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Now, this is the glaring thing about Isaiah. He shot 20.8% from the three-point line, which of course is not good at all. But this is the thing about him where sometimes you have to be able to look at a basketball player and use the eye test opposed to always looking at numbers and percentages. This guy is a 2-time SoCon Player of the Year and 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. The last 2 years of his career, he was the Player of the Year and he was the Defensive Player of the Year, and they ended up making it into the NCAA tournament. This guy is a gamer. He is a freak athlete. He has well over a 40-inch vertical. He jumps high off of 1 leg, 2 legs. He has a bunch of posters. He's a dog. This is just a guy that you have to kind of grab. Even if you don't draft him, you got to hurry up and say, yo, listen, Isaiah, we're going to bring you in our G League team. We're going to bring you in on the Summer League team. He could help a lot of basketball teams out, guaranteed. Even if it's just somebody who comes in and defends, who makes it hard on starting point guards, picking them up 94 feet. But I think he could actually do more than that. I think that he can strap up and he could also be a scorer. Imagine if Patrick Beverley was a freak athlete, a little bit taller, and actually had a little bit more of an offensive game in his role in the NBA. That's what I truly can see Isaiah Miller being. I know he's not on any draft boards right now, but I truly just believe that he is definitely an NBA basketball player. He has done everything possible to kill at his level. And even if he does not get drafted, this is nothing more than just an example of hoop politics, which is a lot of times it doesn't matter what you do, it matters about who you do it for. The fact that he can be a Player of the Year 2 years in a row, Defensive Player 3 years in a row, put up almost 20 points per game and lead his team to the NCAA tournament as a freak athlete as well, and not even be on draft boards, just kind of shows that you really have to choose the right school sometimes. I think that Isaiah can get drafted. I think he should get drafted, but will he? I don't know. But Isaiah, if you're watching this, I want to let you know that we see you, Hoop Politics sees you, and you are definitely a steal for this upcoming NBA draft, and you are going to still make a lot of money in your basketball career. Hopefully you guys like this video. For all the draftees out there, I'm so happy for all y'all. I hope that y'all see your dreams come true. For the ones who do get drafted, be smart with your money. Do what's best for you and not what's best for everybody else first. And for the people who don't get drafted, understand that a lot of times it's about politics. You did what you could do, and now it's time for you to move on and do what's best for you going down the line. A lot of your dreams are not going to end tonight. They're only going to just be beginning. If y'all like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, follow the Instagram and the Twitter at hoop_politics. Let me know who y'all think is going to be the biggest steal for tonight. Let me know who do y'all think these guys are going to get drafted to. Put that in the comment section below, and always remember, God's always in control. Peace.